Oh, she was trolling. God.
Told you.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Freaking Hava.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, she had the tab muted. Okay, yeah. That was user error then. Yeah.
Okay. Just for that, Haba, Gesk is very much dead now. Well, hold on. How long do kobolds live?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they don't live that long.
Like 10 years.
Can live up to 120 years old, but rarely do so.
I mean,
He was like 6.
yeah, like I imagine he's probably still gone.
He's still dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Guess clams, bitches.
We'll see. All right. So, to recap, I guess.
Oh, Doyle rules.
Yeah, some shit has happened. So I'll go ahead and do the recap for that. Last we left off our prodigious party, they were actually separated. Let's go back 30 years, actually. Last time we left them off at the beginning of the last session, the intrepid duo of Merkas, Kroava, and Fred, a trio, sorry, made their way back from the Dragon's Cave all the way to Vasselheim. When they did so, they checked in with Laura and the Slayer's take and got started on the creation of the magical item in question, the modified sword that would help them combat Kalimora. Although during the time it would have taken to do that, lo and behold, Lady, the ever annoying agent of the Children of Malice, showed up and started throwing hands. It got pretty close there, but in the end, Lady was able to pierce the barrier Alora had erected around herself in order to protect herself. But unfortunately, she got through and was able to knock away. How about now? Is that better?
That's much better.
Oh, God. I
Awesome.
put you up as well.
Nope. I just realized my gain was like all the way off. Last time, where was I? Right. Lady had pierced the barrier, and was able to knock Alora to the side, getting the blade where she sat for a couple of rounds, chanting over the blade using a couple of magical implements. After a while, some wild magic made her teleport, and she was tossed to the other side with the blade and everything like that. And it in a act, I'll say. There's also a unicorn there as well. I feel like that's such an understatement, but due to the wild magic, a unicorn that was not an ally of anyone was there due to the wild magic surge. So Kroava broke off his horn and broke the chisel that Lady was using after Kroava wrestled Lady to the side.
Actually, Merkas was the one that broke the horn.
Yeah, Merkas broke the horn. That's
you
what I said.
Kroava.
Well, after Kroava wrestled Lady to the side.
Yeah, well, you said after Kroava broke the horn.
Sorry, Merkas broke the horn, and he impaled the chisel, breaking it, creating a portal due to the feedback between the two magical items, taking Lady and Kroava away, leaving Fred and Merkas there in the dark chamber of the ziggurat below Vasselheim. And we'll depart from the story that we had for just a little while to go over what happened. During the next few days, Merkas wondered what to do, resting and getting their bearings straight. He decided to visit Kalimora. Teleporting all the way, and being seen by her, he was taken straight to her. The two chatted for a while and tried to come up with ideas and things to do. Unfortunately, not much of anything became of it. Due to the fact every time they tried to do something, it always seemed the Children of Malice was one step ahead. Failure after failure, year after year. Merkas couldn't do anything. Losing hope here and there, he stopped and started and just tried to do what he could. And then they started to pop up all over the Iron Authority. City by city, inch by inch, they traversed more and more northward. The now dubbed Silver Legion had appeared. Cultists of Loth that had formed an army around the Children of Malice, using manipulation, temptations, and general propaganda to make their way into the everyday lives and of those in the Iron Authority and beyond. After 5 or 10 years, they had gone from the capital of the Iron Authority, Zaram, all the way up to the Stormcrest Mountains, where they started their campaign on the Republic of Taldore, a once proud nation. Unfortunately, they were reduced to nothing but routed armies and packs of rebellion. Eventually, the mass majority of the army upped and absconded with no other choice but to run. They went to the forests, to the trees of the mountains, every which way, regaining places, reuniting in others, and generally continued to live on. Unfortunately, the story doesn't get any better, as in 30 years, the whole of Wildmount was taken, except for the Kryn dynasty and the remnants of the Dwendalian Empire, having made literal walls between them and the Silver Legion, using the Storm Ashkeeper Peaks as a base. From the top of the Dunrocks all the way to the bottom of the Ashkeepers near Zarzeth Catrill lives a living wall, a monument to defiance, called the Black Fall. Set up with forts and garrisons and strongholds galore, using all the magic that they can muster. They keep the Silver Legion at bay till this day, 30 years in the future. Not much news has been found about the Graying Wildlands, or even Isocross, or the smaller nations in the Clovis Concord and the Lucidian Ocean themselves. But on the other side of the map, things, however, are not so bleak, as the remnants of all the armies, everyone that's been displaced, all the refugees, have gathered in either Exandria and Marquette, where we find our hero now. One, Kroava, barbarian, displaced at a time and without friends. He found himself inside Vasselheim 30 years after, having watched all of it pass by in maybe hours, maybe a day. Every so often, he would see a small gnomish individual come by and cry, and then leave and show up again in intervals and less frequently and less frequently, and after a while, he just stopped. When Kroava was ejected from this liminal gray space that he found himself observing the ziggurat for now knowing 30 years, he was albeit confused. wandering the streets of Vasselheim and then retreating after seeing guards. He spent the night in the ziggurat. Fortunately, wasn't bothered during that time, but got very little sleep either way. And once again, ventured out to the inn that Alora was at, not knowing what had happened. Making his way there, unfortunately, found nothing. Well, he couldn't fully look either way. As most of Vasselheim was deserted, it seemed that there were only patrols of guards here and there. On the walls, he could see siege weaponry as far as he could look. It looked like everything was ready for war. Unfortunately, he was interrupted in his snooping around and surrounded by guards and taken to some place called the Undercroft. Not sure what that is. He was taken to the mountain that Valsheim is built around. Uh, the shrine to the Platinum Dragon, Church of the Platinum Dragon on top. He was taken underground and into massive dwarven built halls as far as the eye could see. It looked like they spanned the whole of the city at the very least. Being dragged around for a little while, he was brought to what seems like a guardhouse and set in a room and questioned. After a while, it seems that someone came for him, and that person was Fred, his companion, his short-lived companion from before. This time now older, much older, graying hair, an eye patch, and a bit of a different gravitas to him. He explained to Kroava what had happened: the rise of the Silver Legion, the fall of the Iron Authority, Taldore, and Wildmount. Informing him that Merkas was still alive and still very much here, although tired because he just got back from a raid across the ocean. He brought him to his house, and Fred and Kroava took a long, long sleep. With that, we will pick up in the morning. Kroava, you have you had a good night sleep?
I imagine some tossing and turning, but
I'd imagine so.
the night before, the sleep was very, very, very non-existent too. So I'd imagine for it, portions he was able to kind of, knowing a bit more, like Merkas was safe and stuff like that, it wouldn't be as anguished. He'd probably eventually be able to get into somewhat of a sleep without thinking everybody's dead.
I assume you would have like revisited the memories of the fight prior over and over again during your sleep.
Yeah, I'd probably the last few moments, it'd probably have a bit of a thought.
All right. Well, in the morning, you awaken in the secondary bedroom of the now Fred. And you're able to make your way outside into the living room where Fred is awake and there is a individual waiting for you. Merkus, you early in the morning were contacted by Fred. After getting a good night's sleep, you were informed that after 30 years, Krova's been found. Brought over to Fred's place, you waited for him to wake up. Now, to inform you, the person, of what happened with Merkus in the past couple of weeks, you were tasked with a mission to raid the HQ for Amon, for the Silver Legion, getting ship movement documentation, so that the rebellion could better combat naval fleets in the Lucidian Ocean between Taudore and Athansia, and other offensives that they have in Marquette, in the lower Wanderman Assembly, Auden Hosts, and the Clopas Concord. As right now, two nations really, the Rebellion and the Silver Legion, are in a full-scale naval conflicts. He came home after basically destroying quite a few halls with the earthquake spell, and escaping as a mouse. Yeah. You're able to make your way back via teleport and report back your findings and take a good sleep. Eventually, a door opens in Fred's apartment, and you are greeted with the not changed at all visage of Kroava. A kiss. No.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I imagine Kroava would notice is that, Merkas definitely looks older, tired. He's leaning heavily upon the staff that he always carried. He used to use it more of a, well, just like a walking stick, nothing particular.
Yeah.
Now it looks like he's depending on it, and there's rings under his eyes, and he's kind of like, he looks up and sees Merkas, and it's almost disbelief on Merkas's face that after all this time, he can't even hardly believe his own eyes. This was a moment that, well, I guess we'll just have him say so. After all this time, I had dreamed of this moment so many times in the last long time. Is it really you?
Well, I wish
Or am I still asleep?
I wish I could say the same, but it's only been a couple of days for me.
Of course it has.
And you'll see a definite, like, not necessarily confusion, but that you can tell Kroava still does not understand exactly nor does he believe what he's been told has happened.
Can't believe it. And Merkas slowly, makes himself, not super slowly, but he kind of like limps himself over to Kroava, kind of like puts his arm out and just like pats his knee, just to make sure that Krova's really there.
Yeah. Kroava will then, sensing that he is slightly older, not as throw around material, Kroava will definitely kind of go down onto one knee to kind of make more of an eye level height.
And pull out a ring. Sorry, go ahead.
And Merkas will look at Kroava in the face, and his eyes will start to get red as some tears will start to flow a little bit, and I didn't believe it for all this time. And he goes in for a hug, just holds Kroava very tightly.
Yeah. Kroava will allow it.
After about a good solid minute of just Merkas not saying anything and silently weeping a little bit, sinks a dagger deep into his belly button, right in the back. Justice for Guest, motherfucker. No. Merkas will release him and stand back, and
I mean, honestly, Merkas could probably like one shot Kroava right now. Like,
Well, yeah, with this
honestly.
magic, you could, yeah.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, I know he's like, yeah, it's been close to 30 years, Kroava. I spent this most of the time. Well, as often as I could, I came back to the ziggurat just to see if I could find any trace of you. You were gone. I went to arcane people all across Exandria, and they attempted to scry you out, and we could not. There was no trace. It was as if you were gone. And so eventually, I had to keep going. The children of Malice weren't going to fight themselves, so I had to keep going. I left Fred here in Vasselheim when I went out to Calamora, and
Probably a good choice. He seems useless.
You do know I am a captain now, right? I am. No, never mind.
Kroava will
Merkas kind of chuckles wryly.
Kroava will kind of give a jovial smirk towards Fred, and he's just beating his balls.
Yeah.
It's been a while since somebody really took it to you like that, eh, Fred?
Yeah.
Takes you back a little bit. Now, Fred's he's been essential here in Vasselheim the last good decade or so. It was just, Kroava, I don't know what happened. You disappeared, and the children of Malice, they were one step ahead of me every step of the way. I don't know. I just you weren't around, and I just couldn't concentrate like I normally did. And I don't know. After a few years, it just felt futile. I couldn't do it anymore, and then they started taking over. Like, they grew. Like, they must have gotten their hands on some of these icons. I ended up not being able to get a hold of a single one, except for the only one we know about is the one by Calamora, because they leave her alone. But
Merkas, you would know that the Civil Legion has officially found 3 of the icons.
Oh, they did. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The shield, the sword, and of course, the crown.
Right, that's right. Yeah, we knew about the crown. Right. Yeah, then Merkas will say that then. They got a hold of the shield and the sword, as well as the crown that we lost that day. The crook is still with Calamora. They kind of leave her alone, but she being where she is, she can only, do so much as well. She's also still crazy as hell.
Definitely.
But yeah, I still eventually found myself back and forth to Vasselheim, and now this is kind of the only place we have left. The servants, the children of Malice became an army. They called themselves the Silver Legion now, man. And I can't fight them all by myself. There's just too many of them.
Nor should you.
Yeah.
That's not something we can ask of an individual.
Yeah, Fred here he's been helping me off and on while we're here in Vasselheim, and occasionally, they need my abilities, but when they don't need me for anything specific, man, I've got my own mushroom cave. I purify the water down here, and I help them grow food with making the soil fertile down here, and that's all. Without my best friend, and traveling partner. I don't know. It gets lonely by oneself. And to see you here after all this time. Oh, totally unchanged, exactly as I remember you. It's as if fate itself is laughing at me. To remind me of all the failure. It is good to see you, my friend. I am glad that you were not winked out of existence due to what I did. And at this, he looks down and kind of doesn't say anything for a while.
Yeah. Kroava just kind of take in everything that he said, and kind of just I don't know about much of that. As I said, it only felt like hours before I was brought back. It felt like I was just floating in space, but I could see you. You would come and stay a little while and then leave, and you'd keep doing that. But each time felt like it was longer between. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. All I know is the one constant that's been here was not there until one day or one moment you just stopped. But again, like, it didn't feel like it was days or weeks or months or even years. It felt like minutes. But then there was nothing until I was thrown back into here, and I saw Lady running, and
Shit, I forgot about her.
the
That's right, she went in with you.
yeah, she didn't say much. It was weird. She just floated there in silence.
You didn't actually see her.
But yeah, I tried chasing her down, but she went beyond a wall, and that's when I seen what had come of this place. But
Yeah.
and then I ended up here with the guards, and
Well, I'm glad you didn't pick a fight with the guards. Otherwise, they, if you appeared in the ziggurat outside of the safety of the Undercroft, it's honestly a shock that they didn't attack you on sight. Oh, I'm glad you were able to make it here, so that I could see you again.
you know me, I would have found a way out.
Yeah. You always manage to find some way. And he kind of grins, showing, maybe a whisper of his former self from back then. But he definitely even though, like, for a long-lived species such as him, he definitely looks like the years had been hard on him.
So, what now? What?
Well, we do have I've set up meeting with some of the, I guess you would call it, the leaders around here. Should be ready for us in about an hour.
Okay. You called them all already? Wow, that helps.
Yes. I was able to get the Seeker, I assume. Nabio would be there. Bonby, Lady Laura, but unfortunately, Kyron was not able to join us. He's taking care of other things outside the wall.
That's fair.
And you know Nabio Fartkite is the coin master of infrastructure. Goliath female, the spy master. Seeker Asum Emring is the halfling ranger from Amon that helped Fox Machina back in the day. Bonby is a bugbear. He's the hunt master here. Quite calm, loving towards beasts. Obviously, Alora requires no introduction, but Kyron Bedos is a Goliath male, reserved, acts when he needs to, respected when he does, but he's not going to be there. Those are 4 of the ranked positions within the higher levels of the rebellion network for Vasselheim. So it's a good amount of people.
Right,
Now
what
that we
was-
have somebody so essential, though, I think maybe we can start on something else. Kroava, there's just something about you. And back when we were traveling together, there was something about us. But my days of extensive travel are, well, probably not here anymore. But in any case, we need to bring this up to the leaders, especially Lady Allura, because she also, couldn't find you just like I couldn't, and she's been a great help. Wow.
We should be going. The war room is quite a few minutes away.
Yeah.
Kroava?
If you'd like to come along, Kroava, they can kind of. Well, between they'll be able to kind of give us an idea of what comes next, what you can do, and what I can do, and.
I think I'll stay right here, get some washing in, do some chores. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you kind of stink a little bit, but no, I was kidding.
Says you.
Prestidigitation. He's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Merkas will just he'll wave his hand. And
a
little bit of prestidigitation there, and cleans Kroava up.
Yeah. First is Daisy. A little bit of
Druidcraft.
He's the actual Daisy now. Yeah. Anyways, the 3 of you pile out of Fred's apartment here in the housing block. You make your way towards the core of the city, the Oval Arch, as it's called, and north from there all the way to the Citadel, the Platinum Citadel, which used to be a holding area for the Platinum Dragon's lock vault, basically. Most of the area was restructured with magic and things like that. But the outlining metals and rocks that they put in there are strong, sturdy, and tough. So whenever there's ever a threat of incursion here, that's where people go. The Citadel. You're safe. You're good. it's magic. It's awesome. Um, Going inside the Citadel, you brought to one of the upper floors and set in a waiting room while the others are prepared. Merkus, you're dragged off to also take care of some stuff as well. But you're told you'll be good to reconjoin them in a minute. So Kroava, as you're sitting there, just like maybe 20, 30 minutes pass, and you are let in by one of the attendants in the area, one of the interns or something like that. Being brought into the central war room, it is a pretty busy site. There are like desks with papers everywhere, boards with information, ship movements, like at least 12 maps of the world, all with like different markings and set for different things. Looking around, if you want, you can make a perception or investigation check to check the stuff out. Like not actually
Yeah.
like going over and looking at it, but if you want to take a look at it, it'll be a perception check.
Yeah, I'll just take a little glance around. 15.
15. Some of the information you're able to glean is that there are markings on some of the map for definitely Taldore, the Iron Authority, and parts of the Dwendalian Empire and the Clovis Concord, also the Menagerie Coast. From what you can tell, there are forts and strongholds all over. Most of the markings seem to be regarding the Silver Legion, of course. There's also the pirates from Darktoe and other smaller faction, and the biggest one on there is obviously the Rebellion. There's open conflicts throughout most of the Lucidine Ocean, and it just seems to be a stalemate as of now.
Okay.
Being brought to the main table, you see across the way Lady Allura Viceroy, aged 30 years in a blink of a day. To you, she seems like she has a lot more gray than she did before. Like mostly gray. She's got some blonde hair sticking out here and there, but it's hard to spot. Um, she seems chipper though, pleasant, still there, but like everyone else, undercut with this just gnawing pit of worry. Joining you though is a bugbear individual, quite tall, ruddier, browner fur with a calm complexion. Uh, the A darker skinned halfling individual is also there, a bit older. Then there is a Goliath as well, a female, pretty tall. Um, hasn't said much, just seems to be watching, taking an eye on you every now and then. Just dressed in nicer refineries. Yeah. Merkus, you're also brought back in at the last minute, and the meeting commences. Lady Allura takes lead and says, "Well, it's been a minute since we have this many people here. Um, none of you except for Merkus and me may recognize this individual," and she points towards Kroava, you. "This is Kroava. He's the adventurer that was partnered with Merkus here for the longest time before the incident at the Ziggurat took place. Unfortunately, he was lost to us that day. I don't know where. We've tried our best. We assumed it was some sort of teleportation, but now it seems to be time travel as well. I still have to look into it, but nevertheless, he is back, and he is a useful individual, to say the least. I've already made some preparations, and under the guidance of Chiron, the Lord of the Watch, and Sir Frederick Stone of the City Watch, they will be operating a strike unit at the behest of the council. Now, we already have quite a bit of objectives to achieve, nonetheless, the complete destruction and demolition of the Silver Legion, which is a big goal to say the least, but I should ask off the bats. Kroava, it is amazing to see you again, my friend. Are you willing to fight with us?
Provo,
Long silence.
yeah, Provo kind of look around the room, kind of trying to like pick out the new faces, and then he'll kind of look at Merkas.
Before you speak, though, you can go ahead, but just before you speak, let me know.
Yeah, he'll kind of look at Merkas, and then
before you're able to actually say anything to Alora, she says, "Oh, I forgot something." Reaches into her cloak and pulls out the most glorious, shining sword you have ever seen. Lyramon, bringer of light, after 30 years, and tosses it your way.
kind of catch it.
You forgot that. Don't lose it again.
Thought this was gone. But he'll kind
found
of
it.
he'll look at the blade, and then he'll look at Merkas and kind of give that half grin smile, and he'll turn back to Elora.
After you appeared yesterday, we had some guards look through the ruins, and it seems like it was there. That's what they found it, at least. Sorry, continue.
Just tell me what you want me to hit.
Glad to hear that. With a snap of her fingers, a map unfurls from nothing and attaches itself to the table here. It is a detailed strike map of Taldore and Wildwood. Well, as of right now, the Children of Malice have formed themselves into the Silvered Web cult. They've shooken off the old title due to issues, I'm sure. But at the top is the thing that has brought them the most fortune that I can see. The Avatar of Loth. A physical representation of the dreaded queen herself. Although, right now, just going after her is not an option at all. She is crazy powerful, to put it plainly. In addition to that, her being here shouldn't be possible. The only way that we know that this is possible is that there are fragments of her own divinity being kept here and is anchoring her here through the three matrons, the highest ranks of her cult, the three matrons of Loth. Each of them represents a part of her portfolio. One being death, one being trickery, and one being conquest. Each of those matrons hold an orb of Loth, which has been forged out of the icons of power that they were able to get their hands on. The High Priestess of Loth, Dwardelia, is the matron of death. Marin, the Shadow of Loth, is the matron of trickery. The High Praetor and Regent of the Silver Legion, Osmilla, is the matron of conquest. I'm sure you can see where their responsibilities lie. Osmilla takes care of the armies and makes everything tick, and keeps their control together. Marin, on the other hand, disparages the other religions, manipulates, sets up propaganda, and maintains the entire information network that they have for all of their factions. Dodella is the matron of death and the high priestess. She's the one in charge of the complete religious side of things. She makes sure the faith is kept in balance, that people are kept in line, and among most, her cult is her worshippers, the church, is responsible for keeping the use of magic. Any kind of magic that does not come from Loth herself, outlawed and banned. One sign of magic use or activation, even magic items, are completely kept from anyone. She pauses for any questions.
So, what you're saying is, if we murder these 3 people, this can all change for the good?
Yes. If you're able to take down the individual matrons and retrieve their orbs and bring them back to me at a disclosed location, most likely at one of the ley line facilities that I found, I can destroy the artifacts.
Kroava kind of smile towards everybody else in the room, kind of, that doesn't sound too difficult. But with that nervous laughter of, this is the most difficult thing we're ever going to do.
I should warn you, though. The matrons themselves are more powerful than me and Merkas put together right now. And Merkas is much more capable than he was when you two parted ways.
More than enough.
So what I'm saying is we should try and sabotage their organizations first and work our way up. Possibly trying to find some stuff to get you guys a little more powerful. Because we're obviously going to need some sort of strike force to take out them and then the Avatar. In the meantime, though, there are a couple of issues that have piqued our interest, mostly being the lost icon, the 5th one, the cane. It seemed to originally belong to a noble in Guarda, which is on the Menagerie coast, north of Port Damali, to the west a little bit, north of there. West of Tusoa, north of Port Damali. It's a small town, but not that big. It seems that the inhabitants there still think he's alive, but due to after further investigation, we found that the noble was not there at all. The entire castle that he inhabited, every location that he could be, was never found. Just the whole castle was cleared out, everything else, but all the residents had stories from him, even like a couple of hours ago, that they talked to him. But he wasn't there. There was no sign of the cane that he had, or anything. As of right now, we have no other leads on that, except for the town itself. The townspeople seem to be under some sort of mind control even now. The noble leader of the town was called Michael Hedan. I'll get you names for this in a while as well.
Oh yeah, right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But besides that, 3 other things that I know about in Taldore. The first is a event in Byrodin, under the Duke there, called the Worships of Bloods. We have no idea what they are, but we know that they're probably evil. So we'd like you to look into it, see what they are, see what we could do about it. Next is the sorry, not the Duke. He's not the Duke. He is just one of the commanders for Lolth. Um, the leader there is called Banshal Emmerich, otherwise known as the Plains Scourge. The Plains Scourge with an S, so it's because Plains Barodin has. I don't know why, but a lot of the Loth individuals have fancy titles like that.
You tend to give
That
yourself fancy titles when you're trying to prove that you mean something.
right. Well, to be fair, most of the individuals under the Silver Legion that have been there for a while are basically mind controls as well. We have no idea what's going on with that. We don't know how, but we've even lost individuals and operatives everywhere to this. One day they just stop communicating. When we check in, they just have assumed lives with no recollection of who they were or what they were doing. But yes, the Worships of Blood, we have no idea. We know it's an event. It's probably relating to violence somehow. Then there is Whitestone. There are rumors that the leader of Whitestone, a man by the name of Lox, the Dwelling Duke, he's been reclusive and sometimes absent in his duties, which is unusual for the leadership of the Silver Legion. That is also of interest. And the third thing is obviously, fuck up whatever you come across, like buildings, supply chains. Just fuck this shit up, I guess. Yeah. So if you come across like a fort, and you can take it, you can take whoever's controlling it down. If you want to go kill some people, the use logic, but to have fucking answers. I don't care. Besides that, that's all I really have. I have more information about the specific holds and areas in Taldora and the Iron Authority. If you wish to know anything about that.
Okay.
But besides that, I think I will hand it over to a couple of the other members here. Is there any information that you want to know specifically?
I mean, I don't think there's much information. I mean, there's nothing more that Kroava needs to know. Like, find these places, hit some people. Like,
Definitely.
It's pretty much self-explanatory to Kroava.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Merkas is usually the guy that's to have the tactics and the plan, and then Krova's the one that fucks it up and just does what he wants anyway, so...
Right.
Most of this is not news to Merkas. Like, he's already familiar with the situation.
Yeah. After a couple of minutes, after Alora is done talking, a giant gray-skinned man, a Goliath, you can tell from the look of it, enters the room and makes his way over to Alora and speaks into her ear and mumbles a couple of things, and she nods and asks him to, very well, take a seat, please. And he does, sitting down. Well, introductions. This is Kyron Bedos. He just got back and wanted to join us for a little while. He has also completed some preparations that I had him do this morning. Kyron, would you please? He says, "Yes, ma'am." All right. Hey. I've set up a team for you to work with. I've also secured you a airship as well to use and a crew. In addition to that, I have another individual that should be joining us here shortly to assist you in, I think, fucking shit up was how Valora would put it. She blushes and Says, yes, yes, sure. Um, and then he goes to say, look, I don't know who you are or what you're capable of, but if you can fuck shit up like Alora says, very well. Um, yeah. Shuts up.
Merkus will grin and say, "There's nothing he does better. That's what I've been telling you guys for years."
Krova's just got the biggest smile on his face. I invented fucking shit up.
Yeah. So, next, the coin master will speak up and say, Um, it is nice to meet you as well. Hello, my name is Nabil Farkites. I am the coin master. As for funds to operate the airship that you've acquired, as I've been informed about this, I have put aside some payments for the crew and use of the airship. Um, None of you will have to worry about that. That's all taken care of behind the scenes. Um, I have also acquired a bit of slush fund for you guys to use during your trips, and I'm sure that anything you come across in the Silver Legion's coffers, please do fucking take all that shit. I, it's yeah, just take it. They're not going to be using it anymore because most likely they'll be dead. She gives you a thumbs up.
Krova's smile grows even bigger than you thought it could.
Oh my god, it's like that smile. Have you seen Star Trek Enterprise, the new one?
No.
No. All right, never mind. There's an alien doctor in there that got Dr. Phlox, and he just gets this really big smile. I'll send you a gif of it. So besides that, I have nothing else to add to this. So thank you. The bugbear who has just been like lounging about and like looking at the walls finally notices that there's nothing to say here and says, "Oh, well, if you're all done yammering, hey, my name's Bombi. I take care of the critters and everything else around here. Uh, I would let you know since you haven't been here in 30 years somehow. I was explained to me, I just didn't care. Listen, if you come across any like dragons or drakes or anything like that, please be friendly to them because we do have like dragon riders now and shit like that. Like not actual dragons, the drakes or wormlings. Usually the like the cousins of dragons, but not really. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is we need tamed drakes and domesticated drakes to up our flying the numbers for the Drake Riders. So if you come across any nests or anything like that, just hit us with a sending spell. And let us know. We'll send a team out to try and get those critters. Or if you see anything else that can be domesticated, let me know. I'll try and help you out where I can. But yeah. Um, with that, entering through the same door that Kyron came through. Zim, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce your new character.
Yes. Before the door opens, you hear him first. You hear a tapping noise, just a clack, 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 and then something hits the door. Whack, whack. It's like a wood on wood sort of sound. And then the door slowly opens, and stepping through is a blue dragonborn. And do you have the picture on the? There you go, right there. You see this? You see this blue dragonborn coming through. He is holding a cane, which he is holding out in front of him, tapping against the ground, which is what you heard about, which was the tapping you heard. It's a very lovely cane too. It's got a silver top. It's kind of hard to see from there, but like it looks like it's got dragon-like carvings on the handle, and then it's a sturdy white wood and a round metal cap at the end. The thing you noticed most, I mean, he's wearing very casual clothes, nice but casual, and that his eyes are completely white, with sort of a bluish tint to them, with some odd scars surrounding his eyes, almost looking like spider webs or lightning bolts. Yeah, that's and as he approaches, he just sort of like taps the ground in front of him, sort of like in a sweeping motion. And then he eventually gets to wherever his position was. Like, was he like? Are they like sitting at tables, or are we just kind of like? Is it
Yeah,
an informal sort
it's
of?
a giant conference table in the middle of the room.
Okay, yeah. So eventually he'll find his way to one of the seats. He'll tap it with the cane, and then he'll sit down. Sort of get, turning his head in like sort of like back and forth as if he was listening with and kind of like looking upwards, not necessarily directly looking at anybody, but he'll say, "Ah, yes, you guys called for me, huh? What can I do for you?"
Uh, Karen Betos. Yes, indeed. Who the fuck is this asshole? Kyron, the Lord of the Watch, says, "Ah, yes. Kroava, this is going to be your new partner in crime, I suppose. Uh, Along with the crew of the ship that you'll be donning. This is Grathis Varmak. You introduce yourself, sir."
And yeah, with sort of a nod in the direction of Chiron, he'll a big grin will come across his face, and he said, "Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, great as Valmont. I go by Gray. That's about all for me. I lead a mercenary group outside, but
Thought you left them behind.
yes, well, I've been with them for a while, and I'm the best fighter in our group, so I decided to take a little vacation, as it were, to well, bring the fight to Lulth and her moronic minions."
I work alone.
Yeah, Grathis is immediately banished from the area.
I have to go. My planet needs me.
Yeah.
And Merkas will act at that. He'll just sort of like elbow Kroava in the leg, or no, they're sitting, so he'll just kind of like elbow him in the arm and just like
Just elbow in the eye.
you don't work alone.
Where have you
Work with
been for
me.
30 years?
Exactly. Where have you been for 30 years?
Alone.
Yes, me too.
Well,
Best years of my life. Fine. But what can he do?
Oh, well, I mean, I've been fighting against Lulz for the last 20 years or so. Kind of fucking her shit up as where I could until we got our job here, Garden Vasselheim outside. And I think that was some of my troops that you ran into outside. Sorry, they were a little rude. I kind of yelled at them a little bit for being such assholes. But
They were doing their job. You can't yell at
They
people
were.
for doing their job. Like, you're the
they
one
were doing their
being
job,
rude
but they still
now.
don't need to be. They don't need to be dicks. That's what I try and teach them. But when people flock to you for your reputation, and you get all sorts. But just suffice to say, the servants of Lulth hate me a whole lot, and I'm pretty decent at fucking them up.
Yes, 20 years and you haven't done anything. That's really well done.
Wow, he really is from from before all this, isn't he? Grail will like move his head around again, survey like as if he's trying to listen out.
Um, Lady Alora says, "Well, I did tell you. So, anyways, as for what the two of you want to do, that is up to you. Where you want to start, so we can. It'll be maybe a day or so before the airship is ready and able to go. Uh, but as for the points of interest that they've laid out in front of you, where do you think you would want to start?
Well, I guess we should probably follow the lead of the expert over here, and we can see where he's been going wrong. Then perhaps make a plan to win.
Yeah.
And he'll give Gray the kind of typical Kroava stink eye.
I mean, the way Grathus is looking, he's not actually looking directly at Kroava.
Yeah, still, we'll still look him.
If you want, maybe you could make an insight check to kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
it's up to Snacky to if he'll allow you
Well,
to do that.
okay, so you've mentioned that your character's like quote unquote blind, but if he's actually blind, you're gonna have to run around with the blind condition. Like I know you have the dark devil sight invocation.
Oh,
but...
now you're just giving it away. He's.
Oh well, he already knew you're a warlock.
Who did?
Kroava? Or you? Or Chris? Sorry.
He did?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, out of.
All right. Well, yes. Okay. So yes, it's an act that he's pretending to be blind.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
But and that was what I was going to get at. Is like it appears that he is blind.
That's we'll still up here.
And then you could insight like whether or not he's actually faking.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, Kroava wouldn't have noticed that was happening yet. So, like, we'll RP
the tapping
it.
of the cane and everything, like.
Well, yeah, like I hadn't put two and two together yet. So, when it becomes apparent to me personally, then we'll go down that route. As far as I know, he's just been a fucking dick. I'm going to be it right back, and then feel really bad for assuming.
Yeah. Gray will sort of just like he'll. It seems like he doesn't notice the stink eye, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, I don't really care much either where we start. We're gonna hit him where it hurts the most. What did you say about that blood cult?"
Oh, well, the worships of blood. There hasn't been much talk about it except for that. There's violent acts going on, things like that. Nothing concrete. We just know that it's a event that they put on almost every week. The next one should be 6 days from now. Looks like the last one just happened. If you're looking to hurt them where it hurts, hit them where it hurts, there is a small armory, a hold of items and coins and other things of import in Rybad Call, which is south east of the capital of the Iron Authorities. Rybad Call is, I believe, commanded by... Oh, right, those four. Tybok, Nostok, and Dobok, and Mebok. The quadruplet set of Tanaruk, which are demonic orcs of such, that have found themselves in liege with Loth, which is not surprising, as she does have connections to the Nine Hells and the devils and the demons and all that. It seems that they are quadruplets that were human. I think they rage about it quite often, that they used to be human and now are immortal demon machines of fucking killing and murder. Their words, by the way. She like holds up like a poster that's like covered in blood, and then it says "All hail" and their names and like other stupid information like that.
So it's like a pretend cult that they think or something.
What?
So it's like they're a cult that's trying too hard.
No, they're just. You can make an insight check.
A little overzealous, perhaps.
Yes.
Insight check 6.
6. They seem pretty cool. They could probably kill and fucking maim as much as they want. They don't know. You don't know. So let's see here. She says, well, it seems that they've amassed a bit of a armory of things and other such information. So if you wanted to hit them, that'd be a good idea as well. Let's see here. As far as other cities, Ortem Velak has been burned to the ground. Singorn is in the Feywild now. And I think Fort Daxio has been burned to the ground as well, as well as Restrun, Draina, and a couple other small villages in Amman. There's always the information about the Reclusive Duke, the Byrodinus situation. Besides that, there's not much other information that we have. The commander for all the forces in Taldore and the Iron Authority combined is Brazima, the mistress. She's stationed in Amman. And Merkas would had a interaction or two with Brazima, or at least seen her at least once. So Merkas knows of her. She oversees the city of Amman and all the other forts and commanders in the area. So she's at the top of the food chain. But taking her out, I think one of the others might just take her place. So not really sure where you should start, but it's up to you.
Well, if we take them out and they just replace her with someone else, then technically they would be bringing them to us. So we could just stay within that area and just one by one let them come to us, and then we kill them.
I feel that would take a very long time to, and comes with a high chance of you being incarcerated.
Usually, in regards to taking down a larger force, it's best to cut off their supply routes and everything first. So if you don't mind, Mr. Stink Eye, I think trying to take out that armory depository down in Rabid Call sounds like that might be a good idea. Plus, it's further away from where the head honchos are and the most dangerous of them are. To, get in, strike, get out, that kind of thing.
What do you think, Merkas?
Merkas will kind of sigh a little bit. My opinion doesn't matter so much anymore. Sorry, I was totally doing the Merkas voice for Gray a little bit ago there because I'm totally used to it. So sorry about that. I have to get used to that.
Merkas, you would have had maybe like a couple of interactions with them since you've been around for a while. You know some of the names that have popped up here and there. You know that although they're boisterous and egotistical, they are kind of fucking dumb. But even so, their penchant for murder, rape, and other forms of torture are known the world round.
Mhm.
Like when it comes to doing degenerate shit, they're degenerates. Like
Yeah.
they'll take someone from the city, fill them with explosives just to watch them explode.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merkus will kind of explain a little bit about that too. So like, these are the people you said that are in Rybad Cole, right?
Yeah, Rybad Cole, the quadruped Tanaruk.
Yeah. Yeah, so so Merkus will mention that too. He's like, well, not only would cutting off the supplies be a good idea, these people are terrible, Kroava. They basically, they kill people just to watch them die. They do just atrocious things. They're they basically have no remorse, and they will just they do the worst things. They have no scruples about it. And getting rid of their organization would also be a very good idea.
Very well.
And they also could be used as like reinforcements from somewhere else in the continent. So taking something on the outskirts, you could probably take care of them before word gets out anywhere of what you're doing, anywhere else, that is, possibly. But my friend, as they said, this is for you and him and the small team. My days of this sort of thing, they're over for the time being. I don't have the energy for this sort of thing anymore. As much as I'd love to fuck shit up again with you, for the time being, my place is here.
Well, perhaps once we've finished with this, maybe we can go on a much more calmer adventure.
I think I would like that a lot. Just the old times, but this is a lot to handle after all this time. And I have a lot of responsibilities around here that people are depending on me greatly.
I understand.
Shut up, Fabba.
Okay, Blue Man. Where do we start?
At this point, Kyron pipes up and says, "Aye, so sorry to interrupt, but where to start would be getting there, of course. If you can wait a couple of days, we have a way for you to get there via the airship. They don't. The Legion does have airships, but they tend to fly at a certain altitude. So if you stay away from that, and you stick to the clouds, you should be fine. It'll probably only add like a day or so to the travel this way. The crew that you have are pretty well versed, and they know what they're doing. They've done bombing raids and other such things. And in addition, I do have another individual that can join you. He is, I think he's waiting. I think he's overseeing the airship right now. But I can take you over once we're done here.
Very well.
Does Gray know who they're talking about or not?
You would know that another is being added to your books, just to try and like make sure everything is not like he's watching you like a caretaker type of thing. It's more like the armies here wanted someone that they could trust. Not that they don't trust the two of you. It's just they want someone of their own there.
Fair
Not
enough.
like in a bad way though.
Right, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
going the trope of like, oh, I'm gonna take over the group.
No,
Yeah,
no.
the military's not gonna fuck this up. I promise.
Okay.
um,
Gray will nod along too, and
yeah. As for a specific name, you don't.
okay.
Right. Alora says, "Well, I think this has been a very wonderful meeting. I do have other things to take care of elsewhere, so if we're all done here, I think I will say my dues and see you all next meeting. Hopefully, it's a little bit better and offer some positive news."
Allura, one more thing I'd like to ask.
Yes, Kroava.
Before I was forced into this portal and 30 years had passed, has Iman been devastated just as much as Vasselheim has?
Well, we've had individuals, groups of armies make their way to Vasselheim, but Amman being the capital of their operations out of Theodore, they have mostly restored it. Of course, there was issues when it was sieged, obviously, and then there were other attempts by us and other individuals to disrupt the control that Amon is under. But I would say they're probably rebuilding. So it's been 30 years, so no one's directly attacked Amon except for a couple of weeks ago when Kroava, Merkas was there a couple of days ago.
Okay.
But besides that, it's been relatively untouched. The only reason we sent Merkus to Amman was we desperately needed the naval information that they had. Elsewise, a lot of our naval forces might be at risk right now.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Yes, once the Silver Legion started taking over, there was waves of like sieges and other things at other places, like Wildmount and Authority. Once the Silver Legion got to the place that they're at, of course they sieged it until they took it. And again, this all took like 30 years. We did our best that we could, but unfortunately, we're at where we're at.
No, it's understandable. I have some unfinished business there, and I was hoping.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, it's just sitting on a shelf in Gilmore's Glorious Goods. For
I
this whole
have
time.
a receipt. I paid for it. I'm getting it. It's the only fucking
Damn it,
thing
man.
I've ever bought.
Yeah, like they wouldn't like Merkus had tried to grab it for you, but like they wouldn't let him because you didn't have the receipt.
I want my fucking flask.
Oh my
been
god, that's the
30
name of the whole campaign, the quest for the flask. But you cannot get a flask.
You're not gonna get it until you kill all the evil gods, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh god fucking damn it, I was so close.
Wow. That's awesome.
Kroava just kinda like bratty, spoiled 5-year-old kinda just like throw himself back in his seat with his arm crossed, just kinda huff.
Anyways, the council departs and everyone goes about their own way. Alora does come over and address you there, Kroava. She says, "I just wanted to say hello in private and apologize."
It's fine.
If I had been able to do anything, I would have. But unfortunately, I lost control of the spell without proper concentration, there would have been more issues to say. Although hopefully that didn't come to pass, but it seems either way. Bad things continue to happen. And do apologize about that.
Kroava will kind of just nod and just... Things happened that no one could have foreseen. You done as much as you could the way I thought I was doing as much as I could. The main thing is now that we try and fix what we couldn't do back then.
Are you standing?
Yeah, I would have got out in my huff and got up.
She says, "Thank you," and just gives you a big hug.
Oh.
Yeah. And then she regains her composure and lets go and says, I will see you, hopefully before you leave, but if not, good luck. Don't die. And when you get back, perhaps you'll have some more gadgets for me to look at. If anything else, I am usually found in the Arcanum Quarter of the Citadel, trying to keep up the enchantments we have and other things to patch the walls and whatnot. So, if anything, let me know.
He'll just kind of nod graciously.
She nods and walks off. Burp, 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 burp.
And Merkas will then, he'll stand up too and kind of look at Kroava. And, well, bud, we may not be working directly together, but we are working towards the same goal. And I'll still be here. And I also will. I have a couple things I have to take care of today as well, but I'll try and be there for sure before you head out. And I know this is still a lot to take in, but I just want to thank you for being yourself, for accepting this and being willing to work alongside these people that I've spent so much time with.
I'll let you into a secret.
Maybe... What's that?
I'll let you into a secret.
Oh?
I plan to murder them all in 3 days' time.
Well, it's a good thing you're leaving tomorrow, then.
No, I sometimes there's greater things that need to be done in the world than thinking of yourself. I know what my job entails here.
And perhaps this was... Maybe it was some sort of fate that allowed you to come here in your current state to help turn the tide.
I hope so.
I'm glad you're here. It makes me feel... Well, it makes me feel again. At least a little bit. Merkas will, kind of pat his knee.
He's so sad.
Wow. Just like Allura said, don't die. I can bring you back, but not as your form. The the druidic magic reincarnates you rather than brings you back as you are. So you probably don't want me to do it, but
No. You actually have access to true resurrection, sir.
Oh, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Hey, even if you die, I can bring you back. As long as they have like one of your bones or something.
That's good to know.
No, I'm not letting you. I'm not letting you leave this time. You fall into a portal. I'm gonna jump right in.
Actually, they don't even need to have anything. Yeah.
Oh, really? True
Yeah,
resurrection.
true
doesn't even
resurrection
need
provides a
anything?
new body. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's right.
And due to the subclass feature that I gave him, you can do it for free.
Damn,
I
dude.
am unkillable.
Yeah. Even if you die, you'll be brought right back.
Yeah. A third fucking level fucking feature. What was it called?
Yeah, it was like the warrior of the gods
Yeah.
in the path of the
Right.
zealot or zealot.
Right. Yeah, it lets you come back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or for free. It means that like revivify, that kind of stuff. The spells you don't need to get the components. It's all free.
A spell such as Raise Dead has the sole effect of restoring you to life, but not undeath. The caster does not need material components to cast a spell on you.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Your
Crazy
soul is
awesome.
marked for endless battle.
Yeah, that sounds like it fits Kroava to a T, really.
I'm like, so we were talking about his level up before the game, and I'm like, okay, so I gave Merkus like a different class feature from a different subclass. So just look at the subclasses you like, and I'm like, I looked at them before, and I'm like, he really needs Warrior of the Gods, and I'm like, so I didn't say anything about it, but I went away to get some food and do some other stuff, throw away some trash, and I came back and he's like, so I was looking at it, and I really like Warrior of the Gods. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Anyways, continue on. So the Gray and Kroava, you two are making your way to the airship just to check stuff out or something.
I mean,
Yeah, Gray will get up and he'll sort of like tap his way over toward Kroava, and once he gets closer to you, Kroava, you notice that for a Dragonborn, he's actually not particularly tall, and his build isn't particularly big either. Like most Dragonborns that you see are like big, beefy people, men or women. They're very tall and wide of body, but he's more human like in his build as opposed to
yeah.
it's just a little different. And around his neck, he's also wearing a brooch or whatever. Not a brooch. It's it basically has the symbol of Bahamut, the platinum dragon. So
Yeah. Sorry. Risque and Haba said. So Risque says, "Hipster blue dragon, better ask for avocado toast." And then Haba says, "I bet he eats his fucking
it's
weight in
not a
avocado."
brooch. I said brooch, but I meant like just like
Amulet.
a symbol, like one of them holy symbol things that people wear.
Yeah, an amulet.
An amulet. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
The
That's the word I
signature
was
of the
looking
god.
for.
Yeah.
It's not a brooch.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Gray totally wears a pocket watch.
Yeah.
No. If he wasn't doing the blind thing, he'd have a monocle.
Oh, okay. Fucking Monopoly man over here.
In any case, yeah, he'll just be like, "Well, nice to meet you, big guy." Ah, I did the Merkas voice again.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, nice to meet you, big guy. Let's meet our next person, I suppose. This is going to be a interesting adventure, I think. And at that, he'll kind of like turn around and start tapping his way out.
All right. The two of you make your way through the Undercroft and to basically where the Church of the Platinum Dragon should be above you, and you are taking upwards. You took it upwards to the ruins of the old Platinum Dragon Church, where it seems it's been made into a enclosed airstrip, an enclosed airship hangar, basically. Around here, you see a ginormous hangar. It's like maybe 500 feet tall, and like half a mile long into the mountain. And there are just like maybe 4 airships in here in different states of equippedness. You look over, Gray. You look over at one of the airships, and you notice it's the one that you were told about. The Cardinal Dawn, a airship that was reacquisitioned from the Silver Legion a couple months back, um, and was brought here for use. It was renamed from whatever it was before to the Cardinal Dawn, and is now ran and crewed for missions and stuff. Has now been allocated for you dimwits.
Very well.
So it's likely not to see the next day, but who knows? Anyways, are the two of you going to make your way on board?
Kroava will kind of just have a little look around the kind of outside, just see.
So you want to see? You want to see into the city?
Oh shit! I thought we were at the airship.
No, you're in a hangar area that was built out of the ruins of the old Platinum Dragon Church.
Right. Okay.
That was built into the rock.
Right. Okay. Well, no, I'll just have a kind of look around and see what is there anything cool in the actually. Because there any airships and all that in the hangar?
It's like 4 of them,
Yeah.
including the your ship.
Yeah, I think I'll go towards. One, I'll find out what airship is ours, and then I want to go and have a look at the airship, just the outside hull, just have a wee gander and see what's.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check or investigation if you wish.
I'll go with perception because 9.
9. Looking at the outside, it looks cool. Looks like a ship.
Good ship.
Yep. Good ship. Yep. And, it's made of like a darker, like black wood, but almost like red tinted now. The sails are still showing the symbol of the Silver Legion. You would assume for appearance purposes, which the rest of the ships seem to carry that theme as well, just for the sake of being able to lie low, because who the hell is going to have an airship except for the Silver Legion, because it's magic. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of have a little look. Yeah, I think I'll. Is there more than just the stuff in the hangar? Is there like other things as opposed to just the airships? That is there a way to kind of just go towards like a more?
Sure. Yeah, there seems to be like a kind of like an armory section that's like, like a metal cage. Towards the back, there is just like a sitting around area with like a couple of picnic tables and stuff off at the back, off towards the back. But looks like there's a couple people around the armory. Like it looks like a place you go in and like requisition stuff, probably. If you want to go take a look.
Yeah, I'll have a kind of. I want to have a look about and see if there's anything kind of newer and like, because obviously it's 30 years into the future. I imagine there's stuff that Kroava's never seen before.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Perception check. These be better. 25, slightly better.
25. Okay. All the guards that you have seen while you have been in the future since you have arrived, all the guards are carrying firearms now. Straight up, everyone has a firearm, like Fred had. So there are sidearms using like some smaller pistols and longer, bigger ones, that people will usually carry around their back. Of course, your character probably wouldn't know what those are called, but you know.
Yeah.
But out of character, they're like rifles, actual rifles. They're most of them seem to have like a cylinder on them. So you think that they're multiple shot, but others seem to have like a big lever on the bottom as well.
Okay.
In addition to that, seems like magic items are a bit more common. You've seen some people with like magic-y looking swords, like weak enchantment stuff, but not too big. Um, Nothing off the top of your head that looks like newer magic, new stuff.
Okay.
You did notice that inside Fred's apartment and in the Citadel, it seemed to be a consistent temperature as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And you didn't really look around Fred's apartment too much, I would assume, because it was a big situation talking to Merkas and he went right to bed, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So besides that, yeah, you really haven't seen too much. Maybe like more steampunky stuff, like like technology and like steam engine, like type of stuff, those types of things, like maybe once or twice, but nothing too specific that I have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, that's cool.
Did you want to check out that armory?
No, I think I think he would probably be a little kind of like he's cool with what he's got. I think he was just kind of wanting to just have a wee bit of a browse, but
yeah,
he's no too like he's still a bit like Sylvester Stallone in Demolition Man. Like he's still like it's a different time, but he's dubious of the changes that he's seeing. Like, is there 3 shells in each bathroom now?
Oh my god.
Do I know how they work?
Kroava doesn't know how. What, you mean Kroava doesn't know how the 3 shells work? Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But yeah,
and you never will.
Yeah. How did the 3 shells work? Was it
they never explained it. That's the joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'll just have a kind of like, is there any like, as I'm looking about, is there anybody else apart from Gray, like in the vicinity?
Yeah, there's like people walking around, humans, elves, halflings, dwarves. Especially up here, there seems to be a lot of like gnomes and dwarves because they seem a bit more mechanically inclined for these types of things. You see some elves, humans, but it's all like kind of a mix, a hodgepodge.
Right, I'm gonna attempt to look lost and confused and see if anyone kind of wants to come and help.
Okay.
Instead of me aggressively going up to a random person that's never worked for me in the past, because Kroava's learning.
Okay. Gray, what are you doing?
He's mostly just kind of standing there, just sort of hanging out. I thought, I thought, like, he went there because they thought, I thought he was going to meet that third person that we were going to hang out with. That's why he was.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you could butt in now, or you just want to let him do his thing. You could probably just go off and check on the new guy if you wanted to.
Yeah. In fact, he'll do that. He'll kind of leave Kroava to his his wanderings, and we'll head off toward where they were going to meet whomever this other person is.
Okay. Kroava, go ahead and give me a deception check.
Deception. Suck at these. 10.
You can give yourself a D4.
Nah, it's alright. I'll just stick with
Alright.
10. Like,
Okay. It takes probably a little bit longer than you're wanting to waste on this, but eventually
this is really not going to be worth all this effort, by the way.
no, it's not. A half-elven individual with black hair pulled up into a ponytail comes along and says, "Hey, what can I do for you? You need help with something? You look lost."
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there anywhere here, like, kind of like a little market, shop kind of area?
Well, yeah. There's the the open bazaar, and there's the other smaller markets within the city, but the open bazaar is down back in the Undercroft. If you're here, I assume you have military clearance to be here, correct?
No, I just walked in off the street.
Make a deception check.
30-20.
All right, give me 1 second.
The important questions, yeah.
Oh my god, did it? Imagine it did, because it wouldn't have. It was only a few. I mean, it should, because it was only a few hours in my timeline, and I'm pretty sure the spell it lasts like 24 hours or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's only been 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay, so the person you're talking to just crit failed, so they said, "Oh, well, sorry to tell you this, but you just can't be here. You're gonna have to go back to the Undercroft restricted area."
Oh, that kind of sucks. Your security isn't really that great here, isn't it? And
No, they're pretty top notch. I just don't know how you got in here. So, yeah. If you follow me this way.
Kroava will follow him back to. He wants to go to the market.
Okay. Gray, make a perception check.
Jeez. Perception. 19.
19. You see Kroava being carried off by a
Oh, I thought I was
military
walking
looking-
behind him. I didn't know I was getting carried.
Well, okay, in phrasing. There's just a phrase. Like you're being carried off, like you're being brought somewhere
Oh,
else.
okay, right, okay.
Yeah. It kind of looks like he might be getting booted out for whatever reason.
All right. Well, yeah. If he notices that, then he'll definitely walk over there to intervene.
Okay.
Like,
Gray.
pardon me, sir.
Oh. Yeah.
He's fine to be here. He's with me.
Right.
Kroava will lean into
Okay.
the other guy, go, I have never met this man in my entire life.
Make a deception check and please stop being a chaos monkey.
The funniest thing is, all this time I've had the Kroava said, there, that one.
Yes. The individual you've been talking to is just gonna look at you and frown like, yeah, okay, listen, I have someone I need to go meet over there, and I don't really have time for this, so...
I'm sorry. Could you at least just point me in the direction of the marketplace, please?
It's in the middle of town. You really can't miss it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Right. And he's just gonna walk off towards the direction of the Cardinal Dawn.
Man, the future people are like so uptight.
Gray, you know being up here without military clearance is an issue.
Right, right.
Kroava's been here 10 minutes. He doesn't know the rules. It's always been a joke. But yeah, Kroava is gonna just walk towards the marketplace. Just to have a look around, see what's...
You're not gonna go and meet the new person that you're supposed to be here to meet?
Is that no, like, in, like, a couple of hours, though?
No.
Oh.
No, you're going to here to meet him, I think.
Oh, I thought we were meeting him when we were going to be getting ready to leave.
No. The air should be ready in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, by tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd said, like, the next day or in a day or two for that, so I gathered that we would meet all the people kind of, like, where we were going. But no, if that's the case, then I'll just kind of sit around just waiting for that guy then.
Okay. Sure. Gray, you do know that the person you're supposed to meet is up on most likely going to be on the ship, getting things ready.
Okay. Yeah, Gray will say as much too. They said they're going to be on the ship there, so how about we go take a look then? I'm curious to see who this is as well. They actually did not tell me who we are getting. I hope it's somebody competent.
I
And
would
if that
make a
Gray will
change.
like walk off toward the ship. Still, sweeping and tapping his cane ahead of him.
Yeah,
Bro, are you following?
Yeah, Crow kind of fall behind, kind of looking a bit. This is they actually just like to try and drag out the whole like you having a cane in that, but Kroava will kind of just not pay attention to Gray, but be looking around at like the other ships and
I find it amazing.
like the rest of the like just try to take in as much as he can.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. It's fine. And Krova's not much for little details like that in the first place.
Yeah, I've seen a Dragon Ball. I don't need to call another one. Dragon Balls are stupid.
If I had something to throw at you, that would hit you, I totally would right now. But you're in freaking Scotland, you butthole. I can't throw things that far.
God, we really should do an in-person game. That would be so amazing.
Yeah. Wow, Zim picked the one race that Kroava hates. What do you want?
Any hoozles. You make your way onto the ship of the Cardinal Dawn. Onto the deck of the Cardinal Dawn. Looking around, Gray, you could just ask one of the people quickly who you're supposed to be looking for. And you'll be pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, he'll do that. He'll look for somebody that he can flag down for that.
All right. Yeah, you are pointed in the direction of a man that is actually pretty familiar. If you want to go make your way, he's black hair, tied up in a ponytail, half elven.
Yeah, like is his like back to us, and he's doing shit, or what's he doing?
Sure. Yeah, he looks like he's talking with a couple other deck hands, then just pointing off in the directions like, yeah, you need to go put that over there, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah, Gray will tap his way up toward him, like, and just sort of like wait until it seems like he's finished, with whatever conversation he's having, before he'll clear his throat.
Once you do that, the person like turned around and is like, "Oh, you two," and it's the guy you literally just talked to before. The guy that was trying to take Kroava away. He says, "What are you two doing here? I thought you were going to the market."
Well, we were here to meet the third member of our group for this little strike force that we're starting.
Right. Yeah, that's me.
Kroava just smiles in the back. Just...
Okay. Well, anyways.
Wow.
Nice to meet you. My name is Sergeant Braxis Doan.
Braxis. How do you spell that last name?
Braxis Doun. Doan.
Oh, right.
Oh, look at him. Oh,
So-
he's a fancy boy too.
Yep. Yes. My name is Sergeant Braxis Doan with the 103rd Mage Battalion. Well, I was before Mon fell, but either way, nice to meet you. I hope to be of service.
Right. Well,
Right.
nice to meet you too. The name's Gray, captain of the Platinum Wings. This
Right.
year's the man out of time himself, Kroava. I think I said that right? Yeah.
Robert will tip his hat.
Right. Nice to meet you too. Well, if we're gonna be working together, how do you do? I can, I know what you two can do. I've heard stories about you, Kroava. And Gray, I think we've worked together once or twice, haven't we?
Maybe.
I think.
I've worked with a lot of people over the years.
Right, that's right. It was 3 years ago. I think we were. Oh yes, we were taking. We were scouting out Fort Daxio before it burnt. That's what happened. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago. We were searching out Fort Daxio, and it was well in the process of being burnt down. So we left, and as it wasn't being used anymore. Right. So what do they call you?
Yeah.
What do they call you again?
Oh, that old thing.
Jesus Christ, that's so fucking cringe, dude. Well, anyways, yeah, if continue if you wanted to.
Yeah. I was. It just sounded like you were. Anyway.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll just kind of like roll his eyes like, oh, that old thing? Yeah, it's something. Avatar of Rage. I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really like being called that much, but sometimes it fits, I guess.
Right. Well,
I haven't had any moments like that in 20 years, so you know, I don't rage anymore.
it's yeah, we should be actually done here by tonight. And we'll be good to go in the morning. The crew's already been sent. We are all ready to take off in the morning. So once they're done loading everything up, getting everything battened down, we should be on our way.
Sounds
That
good.
sounds like a plan to me.
Hmm.
Well, big guy, we should probably get some rest before we take this trip.
Oh,
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
sorry. Give me 1 second.
Insight check.
Oh, on who?
Yeah, on
I
who?
want to know if it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Like that. Like, are airships bumpy ride capable?
Well, yeah, because like they have to fly higher than where all the other ships are. So like, it's going to be a very
That's fair. Okay.
very strange trip.
Fine. I retract my insight check.
Yeah, he wasn't like trying to lie or anything.
Yeah,
this time.
It just seemed like a weird comment to make. Like, how bumpy am I going to be thrown off the airship at some point?
Anyways, give me 1 second. I did. Okay. Why don't I have it then? That's weird. Whatever. I'll fix it in a minute. Alright, well, I do see that the armory might be open if you want to go and gear up before we're set to take off. I do know that they just got a first shipment of supplies. If you're needing anything, I understand that you have discretionary abilities for the trip, so I've made good use of that already. So
Maybe I can stop back there.
I'm a little low on potions. I used up the last ones in the last
right,
in the last battle. Yeah, I guess I'll check it out.
right. It'd be better than buying something over on the markets. Those guys tend to nickel and dime you to death.
Indeed.
Yeah, good day. And he goes back to some busy work.
Yeah, Gray will kind of salute smartly and then turn around and tap his way back out.
Right. Cool. So where are you going?
The armory is where Gray's gonna go.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess Kroava will go to the armory to peruse their stuff, but they'll definitely like want to go to the market because he sees it as they're just trying to make a living.
Yeah, no problem. You two make your way over to the armory inside the hangar, and walking into the front, there's a small like reception area, and it's got like two separate, like actual like lockup area that has a desk inside of it, and a hole to like talk to the person. You hear some ruffling, and like moving of boxes and things like that, and you guys just gonna look around, or
Yeah.
Gray will look for like potions.
okay. It does look like that there aren't like things just for people to freely take. There is like a sorry, there's like a
Good
book.
night.
Thank you. There's like a book, and other lists and like posters of what would be available. But if you want to talk to someone, you can.
How much of a slush fund did we get anyway?
Oh,
Or
so
it won't matter at
wa-
this point. They'll
it
just
wa-
let us get a couple things.
So the slush fund was more for like out and about things you outside of the castle that you didn't need, like outside the castle that you needed to take care of.
Yeah, for like if we have to stay somewhere and shit like that.
Yeah, if you have to like
Yeah.
pay for documents and like
So we don't have to
forgeries
do
and
that here. Gotcha.
yeah. So if you need to do something out in the world and you don't have access to any of the operatives around the world. But you do know you do have some discretionary ability to take some stuff from the armory if you need it, but not a whole, like not like anything you want, obviously.
Oh,
Right.
I'll need to rewrite my sentence because I go take shit that we want from the coin master guy. But no.
Then Gray will kind of like tap on like a countertop, just kind of trying to get the attention of whoever's back there.
Okay. He said, you hear from the back, be right there. And after a minute, a man, who looks older, human, short, extremely old, I would say. But he still looks spry and raring to go as fucking ever. He he gets up to the desk and like plops up onto the onto the chair behind the counter and said, and you immediately notice that he is missing like 4 fingers on one side, 3 on the other, has like burn marks down his hands, and says, "Hello, do you need any black powder?"
Oh my god. No.
I had to.
Wow. Anyway.
Name's Victor. What can I do for you?
Yes. We were sent here we were told by the coin master that we could take a couple of the supplies for our outing, and I was looking to see what you had in the way of potions that I could take, potions of healing specifically.
Yes. Let me see. And he grabs the book like full hog and like flips around and flips the pages over and really quickly and says, "So yes." He basically says he has 2 greater healing potions and 3 lesser regular healing potions that he can lend out.
Okay. Gray says he'll just take one of each, one lesser and one greater.
Okay. One lesser, one greater. Cool. I'll get that into your pockets in a second.
Okay.
Kroava, is there anything you're interested in?
Kroava will probably, when he hears that, Kroava will kind of like pipe up over the shoulder and kind of go, "Oh, we should get some for Merkas. Merkas always likes them." And then he'll remember. And he'll be sad. Who the fuck is this guy?
It's Victor, the shopkeep. It's a campaign 1 reference. I had to put him in there as a goof.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think you've watched campaign
No.
1, but yeah. Anyways,
I didn't either, but I heard about this guy. I've seen clips where they talked about this dude.
yeah. So you're wanting to get some healing potions as well?
Yeah, Kroava will kind of take just the same, kind of like one of each.
Okay. Cool. Let's see here. Okay. Here you go. And he brings out a small box of it. But you need anything else?
Hold on.
So basically any mundane item you could kind of need, you can most likely get here. If you're looking for items that might be helpful in the field, that's another thing.
Right. I take it everything that I've still got on my body is totally fine. Like that still.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
And everything that was still within. Fuck!
What?
I need to go and get Merkas. I need my bag of holding. Damn it.
We could say that Merkus had passed it on to you.
Okay, right. Yeah, we'll do that
earlier,
then.
yeah.
Before, just before.
Totally,
before this
totally
happened.
fine. Then we'll do that because he has like half my shit. Like,
Yeah.
this little small
Honestly,
bastard.
they'll still be fine if even 30 years later, because that's how the bag of holding works.
Totally better be.
Except for the alive stuff.
I don't think
yeah.
we had any. Did we have alive stuff in there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up just to. So I have it there.
Actually, we did have some body parts in there. We could say that they're long gone by now.
Oh shit! Oh no, the Hydra heart we gave away anyway.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
And the bullet eyes. No, the bullet eyes we still have. That's fucked. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
All right. There you go. Greater healing, and a regular healing each.
Thank you.
There you go.
Sir. Besides that, Victor says, "Well, we do have these here," and he goes over to like one of the wall, and and there's like a bunch of like bookshelves like all pressed together, like right on top of each other. Like there's no way to get in between them, but they all have like this like a circle like circle thing that on them. You know what I'm talking about?
Totally.
Hold on. I don't. Jesus. These. There they are. Yeah. Moving like storage rack thingies. Yeah. Hold on. Like that.
but like more medieval.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like you turn them and they move, so you can get so they're all like blocked together. Yeah, no, I get, yeah.
Yeah. Those are like basically kind of like lining one wall here. And he goes over and just like open ones up, and he reaches, he walks inside and like grabs a couple of things and brings out an assortment of stuff. Well, I got these right here, and these and these. He holds up a couple of firearms. He has a few pistols, a few smaller uh, handguns, and a few rifles. They're standard fare, but they're good grade. So they are like +1 firearms for whichever one you choose. Kroava, you don't have any training with them, but Gray, since you grew up later in the time skip, you would be trained in them. They're now considered like martial weapons, but Kroava unfortunately don't have training in them.
Yeah, I'm not really that interested in pew-pews anyway.
Yeah.
You can't hit people with pew-pews.
Yeah, Gray actually has never really been all that interested in the firearms either.
Okay.
Weird.
Just thought I'd put that out there. Let's see. Now there's one. Fine. And he like literally like puts them in a trash can, for a couple minutes. Says, "Well, what do you want? We got stuff."
Do you have any fun stuff?
Stuff? Yes. And he almost like skitters away to like a back room and comes out with like a bin of small like wrapped sticks almost. And he pulls out a box of them, puts them down, and says, "Well, I got these right here. They're made with black powder, you see. No one thought it was worth anything, but it was worth stuff. Everyone wants the black powder now." And he pulls out basically they're grenades. They're grenades. You like light the end and toss it. So basically you have like 3 sticks of dynamite and a smoke bomb.
That's the exact face that Kroava makes. Is he just
That's
kind of...
dangerous.
You see these? You just take it here and you light it with the light. I'm not gonna do that now because it's very bad and it'll hurt me. I'll lose even more. And he holds up like one hand that's got like, so he's like missing fingers, like on like his whole left hand is missing fingers. But they're like been replaced with like mechanical attachments, like semi-enchanted like mechanical hand finger parts. And that's how I lost these. But you light this end and then you toss it, and then it explodes. Besides that, this one makes a ball of fog, and no one can see through it. But it's just fog, so
I don't like fog.
blown away. It can be blown away. Anyways, I got 3 of these. Here, take them.
Is that the sticks of dynamite?
Yeah. So 3 sticks of dynamite, basically.
Yeah.
I'll make the items later and put them into your inventory, but basically it's a 15-foot AOE. Sorry, no, like a 10, 15-foot AOE. That does like half the damage of a fireball.
Right, that's cool. Kroava only wants the dynamite, he does, or the grenades, he does not want the fog.
Okay.
Kroava does not like fog.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing as a fog cloud spell.
Yeah,
that's about it.
No, not interested. That ruined my life.
It literally did. But yeah, if that's all you guys are looking for,
No, that works for me.
all right. Is that all you want? Okay, bye. And he just like jumps down and like grabs the firearms from before, just like tosses them in and like closes the thing and runs off to the back.
Okay. Kroava will just kind of haphazardly just like put the grenades just into his pockets and kind of just right. So
yeah,
where's
they're by the way, they're safe to handle.
Oh yeah, like guys
you
totally
can toss them.
Yeah. That's just Krova's way of whatever. Like
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Looks like those might come in handy someday. I mean,
yes.
after all, we're supposed to be fucking shit up, right?
Exactly. I have a lot to teach you. The fucking of shit.
Well, perhaps we can learn a little from each other. And he gives a kind of a grin, and winks, and then he turns around and heads back out.
Ooh la la.
Not like that. It's not a suggestive wink.
It okay, fine.
Kroava
Calm down.
flips him
Have
off
your
behind his
avocado
back.
toast.
Do what now?
Kroava
Have your
flips him
avocado
off behind
toast.
him.
You can do that if you want to. It's all right.
Anywho.
It's understandable that Kroava would be wary of any new person.
Yeah.
Don't worry though.
Anywhoozles. The two of you are going to the marketplace then?
Yes, yeah, Kroava wants to get to the marketplace too.
Cool. As you guys are on your way out, Sergeant Braxis stops you again, your companion now. And says, before you guys go, so I've heard from Kyron Bedos that we are going to Rybad Call to break into an armory and steal shit, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to supply the ship in that theme anyways, so we will probably have a lot of explosives and other things, goodies. So yeah, we'll be set there. So if you want to like plan ahead and find out what we could do, like we don't actually have any plans of the armory, but I do know a couple of people that way that might be able to help. So when we get down there, I'll check it into my contacts and we'll see what they can find for us.
If I've learned anything in my times of adventuring and travels, the best plan is to run in without one and hope for the best. It's never
That sounds
steered
like
me
a
wrong.
very bad idea,
No.
but I like the
Well,
enthusiasm.
He has a point. I mean, we should look over a map of the area and then run in and fuck shit up.
But all right. Anyways, before you go, here and here, he hands you both 2 stones.
What's this?
Okay. Anything specific? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
sorry,
What do they look like?
They're small stones with like a couple of runes etched into them. The sergeant goes ahead and explains. Oh, these are sending stones. So you just hold on to it really tightly, speak a short message, and it will be sent telepathically to the wearer that is holding it.
Yes.
Yes.
I have used these before. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been a little bit since
Been a
I've
while.
done that.
So if you need anything from me, just send me a message, and it'll be fine.
Communication is important on the battlefield.
Nice. See ya. And runs off.
Well then, big guy, I will meet you here tomorrow.
Very well.
It should be an interesting trip.
Just remember to bring in your shit fucking shoes.
Indeed. You too.
I'm at boots.
And then and Gray will kind of like give him a bit of a wry grin. He kind of like laugh to himself a little bit. And then he'll turn and kind of walk off.
Kroava kind of turned the opposite direction towards the like under place and start going towards his.
Yeah, you're going into the Undercroft. Back to the city that is now Vasselheim, basically.
Yeah, like just to have a kind of wander about and just see, similar to like that. He just wants to see like what's like what major things have kind of changed and what he can find at the market. Like nothing. Like I'm not looking for anything in specific. like I'm no looking for stuff that I want to find this so that I can take it there. So like I don't want you to go into that much. I just want to just have a little wander, clear the air. Like we don't actually even have to role play it. Just
No, we can go ahead and roleplay it. I will let you know. I think I might only go to like 10:30 ish, so like another hour, maybe a little bit longer.
yeah.
Just because it's my first day of work tomorrow on my new
Oh no,
job, and I want
that's
to,
totally cool.
yeah, I want to be
That's
able to
yeah, like
get
that's
some
a
sleep.
bit more important that we can
Uh-huh.
like
Oh,
once
yeah.
you've kind of got into your groove again, then it makes sense. No, that's cool.
How Snacky got his groove back.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you're going to the Undercroft Market. Just give me like a quick survival check to make your way there properly.
Yep. Okay. I mean, you never know. I'm gonna find futuristic ladies.
Ooh,
17.
three tits and all. Yeah, you make your way through the city. It's kind of like simplistic, you know. It seems like it was built with efficiency in mind, and it. I will let you know, it does get a little bit difficult to navigate. At times, it seems like some streets are counterintuitive, and you got like, at the least, you've gotten lost like maybe 2 or 3 times, like 2 times at
Yeah.
least. The city itself is built in a way that seems that people that haven't been here won't know how to get around it as a point of purpose, even. But with your 17, you don't get lost too much, but you do get there in a good amount of time.
Right.
You arrive at the market bazaar, and even before walking through the streets, just trying to look for this place, you saw families about, like kids, children, adults, elderly. Like people are still going about their lives, even under the threat of constant incursion, death,
Yeah.
and possible mind control. Um, Looking through the crowds, you definitely more so than before, you see all the people here have this unspoken rule of the war is not here right now. But even besides that point, you can still see there's kind of like a pit of small despair in the mass majority of people that you see.
Okay.
The past 30 years have not been kind. Is there anything specific you would like to accomplish while you're walking amidst the market?
Yes.
Okay. That being?
I want to find a toy shop.
Okay. Sure. Make a investigation check.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
Yes.
Not one.
You're really not good at that. God damn. All right, yeah, you find a shop.
4 days later.
No, you find a shop. It's kind of loosely labeled. It just had like a generic title to it, but you saw the word toy and you went in.
Oh my god, is this an adult toy shop?
You walk in, there's a slight ding ding ding, and a nice elven, half elven female pops up from behind the counter and says, "Oh, hello there, dear. How can I help you? Are you looking for anything specific?"
Yes, I was looking for some children's toys.
I'm sorry.
Um,
This is not one of those locations, sir. This is a make a perception check.
oh god. 14.
It's an adult toy shop.
Fuck.
We cater to different tastes that children probably shouldn't be exposed to. If you wanted an actual toy shop, there is one about 4 blocks down next to the tailor. There's a tailor, there's a toy shop, and then there's a nice sub place that has actually some pretty good food if you're hungry.
I really appreciate that. And Krova's kind of just gonna like put his hand up to his eyes as he tries not to look at the items. It will say, but it will ask, do you have any books?
Books. A few, yes. If you're looking to look at them. She points at a bookshelf behind you.
Okay, I am going to look and see if I can find a specific book.
Are you looking for Tusklove?
I am looking for this if any sequels to Tusklove. Because it's been 30 years and I feel maybe like there's 70 odd, like there's like 50 Shades of Grey. They're going through every fucking colour.
Give me 1 second. I gotta get some D20 D100 here. That's not a percentile. I'm looking for a percentile. Hold on. Fucking bag. God damn it. Where is my shit? There. There we go. Percentile. Got it.
All right. This will probably be a easier check. Tusklove was a successful book, so I would say pick a lot of 40 between 0 and 100.
Right, I'll go bang in the middle between like 30 and 70.
30 to 70. Okay. Bang in the middle.
Yeah.
Good phrasing. All right. And you want to get inside of that margin.
Yep.
Ooh, Lady Fate is not looking upon you today at 29.
Fuck you.
Yeah, sorry, bud. So you search the books real quick. Give me a flat intelligence check.
Flat intelligence check. 15.
15, okay. You look through all the books, but you do remember the author of Tusklove. And unfortunately, you don't see any books that are direct sequels, but you do see a couple of books that are by the same author. Give me 1 second.
One fucking percent out, Merkas, I'm sorry.
Give me 1 second.
I mean, how do you know that Merkas didn't already have them?
I don't know. It's only been 20 minutes for me.
Yeah. You see a book that is written by Matilda Mercia, titled 50 Shades of Orc.
Wow.
How much for this book?
Oh, that's it's a more recent copy, so say 2 silvers.
Okay. Kroava will try and wander over with his eyes covered to hand over 2 silver.
I should make you roll like a perception or a survival here. Just
I mean, I can. Survivor?
No, you're good. You're good. You pay her and you make your way out, covering your eyes as best you can.
Yep. Right. I am going to.
It's just a sweet bed.
Yeah, I'm going to put the book as far hidden as fucking possible before I go into this kid's toy shop.
Okay.
And then I'll go towards the toy shop that the shop lady pointed me in.
I'm just now reading Twitch chat.
Yeah.
You don't know shit about Kroava, Major Dumb Ass Dumb.
It was because when you said it was Sergeant Brax's Dune, I thought you said Dome, and that's why I went Sergeant Big Ass Dome. Because it sounded like that, and I thought.
Sure. Any hoozles. You're going to the toy shop then?
Yes.
All right. You walk out and you walk right. I'm kidding. Yeah, you're going to the kids' toy shop.
Yeah.
Down the way between the tailor and the sub shop, and you make your way inside. Ding ding ding. This time, it's a actual toy shop. So there's a small halfling female there. Says, "Oh, hello there, dear. What can I get for you?"
Um, I was just wanting to know, what is your most expensive toy in here?
My most expensive toy. Hmm. Well. And she looks around and she says, "Well, I do have this. Give me 1 second, sir." And she goes to the far part of her counter and like pulls out a box and like looks through a small chest and pulls out a small orb that has different interlocking plates on it that seem to shift around if you mess with it enough. This is a tinkerer's orb. It's not magical any means. It's completely mechanical. The object of it is to try and get it open. It's like a puzzle box, basically. Um, Unfortunately, she shakes it. There's not anything inside, but it is worth your time if you wanted to try and purchase it and open it on your own time. If you look here, and she kind of like plays with some of the plates and shows you how it operates. So all you have to do really is just find out how it opens, how you're supposed to open it, and if you do make a mistake and she like shifts a plate too far and it like shifts back to shifts back in place, and then you have to start all over. This is a bit of an intermediate puzzle, but for this, it's about 50 gold.
Oh, okay. What kind of toys do you have that are around the 1 to 5 gold mark?
Ah, let me see. I have. She opens up and she brings out another chest and says, "Well, I do have these here. And she pulls out a small pearlescent stone, and she holds it, and it starts to like slowly glow different colors, like switching through different colors every now and then. Puts out like maybe like 5 foot of bright light. This is a glowstone. It's pretty simple, explanatory. It's a bit mechanical, alchemical makeup within a crystal stone. So it's a bit more expensive for that. That's about 5 gold for that. I have this right here, and she pulls out a wooden puzzle box this time. This is a bit simpler. It's a wooden puzzle box. It's about 2 gold. It's I think Marquesian. Before after the incursions, of course. Then I have. He looks around. Um, And I have this right here, which is a bit more expensive, but it is pretty cool. She pulls out a small metal jaguar, and she reaches under the belly and flicks a small switch, and it starts to she like winds up something and lets it go, and it starts to like hop along, like move along by itself. This is a dwarven made from here in Vasselheim, a local toy crafter. That would be a little bit more expensive, but it would be about 8 gold.
Okay. I'm gonna have a look around. Does it look like it's a big shop with a lot of things? Like, is there a lot?
It's on the smaller side. It's definitely smaller than the adult toy store you were in a minute ago. But it's not like huge. It's a smaller side. Yeah.
How much for all of it?
Oh, well, the puzzle box is 3 gold. The glowstone is 5, and the jaguar is 8.
Oh no, I mean for everything. And
everything?
he'll gesture to the shop.
My whole inventory.
Yes.
Okay. I would have to do some maths. If you can come back in 5 hours, I might have an idea for you.
Well, how
Are you being... Make a persuasion check here.
persuasion?
Yeah. You can guidance yourself if you want.
Yeah, well. No, that's a D6. I went 4.
Yeah, D4.
12.
12, okay. You're being truthful, right?
Yes.
You can go ahead and roll the advantage. Just roll it more time, yeah.
Dirty 20, so that would, yeah.
22 then.
Yeah.
She looks at you bewildered and says, well, I mean, of course I'm not opposed to
Just a ballpark figure if you have any.
selling. I would rather get you an exact figure. But if you are interested, just for my well-being, so I'm not counting my whole inventory for nothing, if you could leave a small, 10 gold deposit for the work. It will
Right.
take me several hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hand over 10 gold.
All right. In exchange, I can go ahead and give you this. And she hands you the wooden puzzle box.
Okay. Right,
Yeah.
Kroava, yeah, I appreciate it, and I will be back in a few hours.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to randomly generate an inventory. Okay, cool.
Just, I mean, what I'll say, right, is I don't need an inventory. I just need a figure.
Okay. Cool.
Like, I have a plan that I don't
okay.
want to just a ballpark.
Okay. Cool. All right. What else are you doing?
I guess I'll probably just have I'll have a little wander about and he'll try and find what he knows, which is a tavern.
Tavern. All right. Roll me a. Sorry, no, not roll. Fuck! I just put away my luck dice too. D100. I need to get out some dice. Things. There's one. That's not what I need. Ah, there we go. Choose a section of 5 between 0 and 100.
Section of 5. I'll go quite high this time. I'll go 83 to 88.
83 to 88. Okay.
Yes.
No fucking way. Jesus Christ. 83.
Fuck yeah, bitches.
Okay. Fine. 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 Okay. God fucking damn it. Okay. All right. Cool. After walking around for a while, you feel pulled in, not physically, but mentally pulled in one direction. And you come across a small tavern. What?
Just the fact that I've literally rolled terribly all fucking thing, mate. But the one time I'm looking for alcohol.
Zim, we get it. Wait.
I actually think
Zim. 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 Are you awake?
I don't believe he is.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Let me just... I just sent him a bunch of messages. Let's see if that wakes him up. Okay, then.
I didn't think I was going for that long.
No, me either. I guess he was tired. Anyways, what was I doing? Jesus Christ.
Me finding a tavern.
Yeah. You find a smaller tavern on the western side of town, and you enter in, and you see a familiar face behind the bar, tending bar, is. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Yes. Is it
Forgot his name.
is it who I think it is?
Give me a second. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Yes, you see a familiar bear folk called Ursus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He looks up and sees you and says, "No fucking way." God damn it.
So I've put his volume down. We're good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And Kroava will kind of go in for see that scene in Predator when Schwarzenegger and is it Carl Withers? Is it Withers?
Don't know. Do you actually mind if we switch channels real quick?
I mean, I can just move him out. That's cool.
Oh yeah. If you could do that.
Yeah.
When he comes back, we'll know he's awake.
Yeah. Hold on. I don't want to move him into one. I'll move him into the drunk tank one so that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That was something. Never had a player fall asleep on me. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like there's a scene in Predator. Hold on. This where like Schwarzenegger and Withers kind of just like son of a bitch, like that kind of like that's what I want. I want to go in with that. Oh, what was that? Oh, it's my phone fell out my pocket. Shit. But yeah, I'm just kind of Kroava's gonna just see it and just like, oh my god, and just go in for that kind of high five handshake.
Yeah, and Ursus reciprocates and says, "Where the hell have you been? You don't look aged at all. What happened?"
Oh, it's a long story. I mean, 30-year story for you, but yeah, I was thrown into another plane of existence apparently, and 30 years have passed over the case of a couple of hours for me.
Really?
Yeah, and this is where I was. And
well, suffice it to say, your bar tab is not existent anymore. So, would you like a drink?
as always, I haven't changed that much.
Right. And he pours you a nice pint beer to drink and sets it down.
And I'll go to pay.
Okay.
How much will it be?
It's on the house, please.
How busy does it look?
It's not too busy.
Okay. I appreciate that. It's amazing to see you. So much has changed.
Yes, I fought for a while, but I'm not the
You
man I used to be.
you fighting? Why did you want to give them an advantage? And he'll kind of
You never
chuckle.
saw me in my prime, young cub.
I,
Don't push your luck.
I didn't think you had a prime.
Oh, I'll kick your ass.
I am
Kick up
sure you
your ass.
could.
Anyways, uh, I fought for a while. I tried anyway. I'm not the young one I used to be before, so I came here when I heard there was safety here. Anyways, it's turned out pretty good for me. I hear the current dynasty has not fallen yet. Um, they've actually put up quite a hell of a defense, to be honest. Um, but unfortunately, I'm not able to return just yet. Just obviously, getting all that way would be murder. Oh, there he is. There. You were sleeping, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
were
know.
snoring.
Yeah, I've been falling asleep with the computer for a while.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't think we were taking up that much time.
I was just wondering why the hell you guys were so quiet.
Yeah.
And it's because I could hear you on stream, not through voice chat.
Yeah, we didn't want you.
That makes sense.
We thought we'd give you a wee bit of privacy.
I was like, okay, well, I don't have anything to do right now, so I'm just going to listen to you guys for a second. And
Yeah, we'll catch you up. We've arrived in Emon. I have sort of infiltrated part of the tower.
it hasn't been that long, has it? It's only been like 15 minutes.
I'm only kidding.
That's kind of funny. Anyways, no. All that's happened is after the armory, Kroava
Hey, you went to the
walked around-
market.
Yeah, we walked around town. He's trying to buy the whole inventory of a toy shop to give to,
Yeah, I heard about the toy shop. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
and now he's ran into Ursus actually, the bartender, from Rosanna.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
I had him pick a number between a set of 5 between 0 to 100, and
He was a Warforged or whatever, right?
No, that was the Zar's control bartender.
Oh. I don't remember who Ursus was then.
He was the bear folk in Rosanna.
Yeah, he was the guy that was seeing when we done that. Is it the Demicrew or something like that thing?
The what?
Is that no the when we done the first episode? Yeah, he's like where Kroava was raised. He's just Krova's backstory.
So he was from the Brown Bear Tavern.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I had him pick a number between a set of 5 between 0 to 100. He did 83 to 89 or something like that. And I rolled an 83.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was finding this bar.
All right. So the thing you posted makes sense then.
Yes.
You son of a bitch.
Yep.
I get it, okay.
Yeah, so they were just talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharing war stories. But yeah, imagine like for the next couple of hours, Kroava will just like to, while the bar's quiet, he would just like to sort of reminisce with Ursus and kind of share his stories, like particularly the ones with like Merkas and stuff like that. Maybe talk about some of the backstory stuff, and then hear about Ursus's story for the last 30 years, and just kind of go for a few hours, just having that nice little.
I gotcha. Yeah, so just a TLDR of what happened to him. The first like 5-10 years of the war, it wasn't in Wildmount at all, so he was able to stay out of the conflict until it kind of like reached the like Sirios Mountains, and he was like, that's a little bit too close to comfort. So he started like piecemealing off the bar to people and things like that, and then he eventually closed up once they got like past Allfield. and Felderwind, and was able to catch a boat out of there around like the Graying Wildlands, past Isocross, and headed to Vasselheim as soon as he could. During the meantime, you did a couple of different things, like found work here and there for cooking and cleaning and things like that, odd jobs. But eventually he wound up here and made the bar again. So, yeah.
Yep, that's that.
Yeah.
Suits me.
After that, how many drinks do you have?
I would say a couple, because I imagine that they'd be talking for more of the time than drinking. So I'd say maybe like 3, 4 tops. Like he has to there to drink. His focus has been drawn to talking.
So you're not drunk. You're just
yeah, I'm
lightly
still
buzzed. So that's fine. I just want to see if you like in your cups too much and you need to maybe say
yeah. Nah, I'd like to. I think I'd like Kroava to have that sort of, when he understands that there's serious things happening. It's like, it's one thing with him and Merkas having the getting drunk in that when it was like little adventures, but when things needed to be done, like drinking was.
Yeah. So eventually a couple hours pass and then you realize, oh, you should probably go back to that shop.
Yes.
She's probably about done. So yeah, you say your farewells. All the drinks were on the house, basically, for an old friend. And you're gonna make your way back to the toy shop?
Yep.
Cool. You get back to the toy shop and you enter in and she's, right on time. I was just done. So for my whole inventory, if you're actually going to buy my whole inventory, give me a second to do some math real quick. The whole inventory will be about 1,638 gold.
That's quite the number.
Yes. That would be for every single item I have for sale. Well, that is a bit high. Like the most expensive. You did ask for the most expensive thing in there.
Yeah, I was trying to gauge what prices were going to be coming in to see if it was even worth.
Right. I should have. Okay. I was just like pulling a price out of my pocket. Let me see. To be fair, I think you had the decanter of endless water still.
No, that was that was what was made, and I got sad and cried, and what's her name said that she would fix it.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Anyways, so for my whole inventory, including packing it up and everything like that, would probably be more around 600 golds and 30, just 600 golds.
Okay. Kroava puts a big bag of money on the table and kind of goes, I want everything.
Hey? Yes, sir. And she immediately, do you like count it out and everything like that, make sure it's correct coinage?
I mean, I was just going to put, how much would that be in platinum? I'd be like,
that would be 60.
60 platinum. I'll just put like 60 platinum on, so it's easy.
Yeah, that'd be 60 because it's intervals of 10 for gold. So 600, that'd be 60. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just put like 60 platinum down.
All right. She says, "Well, okay then." She just
I have one condition though.
Right.
Of
that's
everything stays in the store as normal, but whenever like a kid comes in to buy something, whatever it is that they're looking to buy, just give them it.
Just give him it. I mean, you don't want me to like. I mean, they're all yours. So if you want me to just go around and hand out toys to the needy, I can.
Well, it doesn't have to be to the needy. It can just be to all of them.
Right, to all the children.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Oh, you big softy, buying all the toys for the kids.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. All right. I fucking love that shit. She says, okay, sure. I'll do that. That's
And I'll also hand over another, I'll say another 10 platinum, and as a thank you for what she's about to do for me.
She takes the extra 10 platinum and puts it in her little coin purse, and she kind of looks a little meek and says, out of everything that's happened in the past 30 years, this will help. Thank you. You're a kind man.
Grove will kind of just nod, and as he goes to the door, he'll leave. He'll just be like, everyone needs
sir.
a little hope.
What was your name again?
Don't worry about it. And then he'll leave.
Okay. Do you walk out the store?
Yeah, I'll walk into the store and start wandering
fucking-
somewhat back to where I'm staying. Do I have a house? Do I live anywhere?
Not anymore, motherfucker. Oh, man. Oh, God. Merkas, what'd you do with your cave? What did Merkas do with his cave? Like, did you just abandon it?
You mean the one out in fucking
Yeah.
Wildmount?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like he hasn't been back there in a long time.
Okay. Cool. So
He
He would have
Um,
taken it, everything that he had out of there. 'Cause, like,
okay. Yeah, of course.
And
of
then
course.
he has his new mushroom cave.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kroava, you walk out the store and go walk down the streets. I forgot about this, but I guess you would have been given like a room in the housing districts, like a small like guard, like the same stuff that would be used for like military barracks or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Like a
that's cool.
housing.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
simple and just a bed is all I need.
Yeah, it's near the Citadel. So if you're needed, you'll be contacted immediately.
Well,
You were
just-
told where it is.
Just before I go to the bed, I do want to stop off at Merkas quick to hand over his present.
Before you even get there, you do walk down the street, and after a while, you hear, free toys, come and get them." As you look back and you see the lady has picked out a small array of toys, and bunches of kids are like running over, and like she's handing out one to each of them.
Nice. Yeah, Kroava kind of just smile to himself and then,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, I should have bought ice cream for everybody.
Claus.
That would have made more
Fucking-
sense.
Fucking Santa Claus over here. All right, you're going to Merkas's.
Yes.
Cool. You don't know where that's at.
I'll just wander the streets screaming for Merkas.
Oh Jesus!
Please tell me you're joking.
Yeah, I imagine Merkas is known within like the military people and ranks, right? They must.
Yeah, you heard that he went on a raid mission, like he's been helping out the rebellion. So yeah.
Right, so I could potentially go up to like guards or something like that, and they would maybe be able to give or point me in the right direction.
Yeah, you have a 16 intelligence. You know you could probably go to the Citadel and ask where he might be residing.
Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll just to find out where he is.
Cool.
But 30 years and I forgot to ask where he lived. Fucking idiot.
Yeah. You found out in like the back of the Undercroft, like the far places that haven't been developed yet and have basically been abandoned. You know that Merkas does have a cave out there somewhere. That you know where it's at and you know how to get to it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get to. I'll work my way there.
Making away. Yeah, making away there. You
Working our way.
Making away. You eventually get to the mushroom abode of Sir Merkas Shrimkala. And
yeah,
how do?
Yeah, you just kind of like chap the door, I guess.
It's not so. There's not so much a. Well, yeah, I guess there would be a door because he would need to sleep at some point. So yeah, all right. But yeah, like you could tell it was Merkas's from about like 30 feet away because you could smell the mushrooms, and they're like growing all over the outside of the cave and like kind of on the front and everything. And
yeah, he'll kind of just go in, chap the door. Be like, Merkas?
There's actually no answer.
Oh.
You could try the door if you want. It's not locked.
No, that's okay. What I'll do is I'll Kroava will take the book that he purchased and he'll slip something inside and he'll kind of just place it kind of in the view of the, like if anybody was to walk in or out the door they would see it and kind of just leave it there and smile and head off back to where he's sleeping.
I was gonna say, like you can go in, like he's like meditating.
No, it's fine. Like he's meditating for the last while. Kroava's been interrupting him constantly. They'll let him have this one moment.
He picks today to be that, like that. All right. Fair enough.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. So yeah, Kroava, I assume you're gonna probably just catch some Z's or something like that?
Yeah, just kind of start getting ready for...
Yeah. Just spend your day doing whatever and get up in the morning. First thing. Yeah, alright, cool. Gray, are you going to be doing anything specific, good sir?
No. Once he was done in the barracks, he went back to his encampment area there to, put his things in order and just to set everything up. Like he knew he was gonna they were gonna be doing something, but he wasn't sure exactly what kind of a thing it was. So he'll just pack up whatever things he needs for travel. Let his crew know what's going on and. And that his second in command is in charge while he's out, and then he'll rest up.
Cool. Yeah. In the morning, the both of you are awoken, and you know that about morning, you are supposed to arrive at the fucking whatchamacallit?
The airship?
Yes, the airship. And I assume you guys shut up. Leave me alone. You guys arrive and are able to introduce yourselves. Everyone's there. The whole crew's there. Sergeant Braxis is also there. Lady Alora has showed up to wave you off, and would Merkus be there?
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Cool. So Merkus is there as well. Give me 1 second. Jeez. Yeah. So you're all there, and Lady Alora says, "Well, I wish you all the best. I know this has been a exciting couple of days, Kroava, but at least you'll be able to clear your head on the way there. Um, I wish you the best. When you do get to the area, I understand Sergeant Praxis here knows how to operate in and out of the cities pretty well, so if you don't mind giving him a little bit of leeway there, and he has informed me that he does have people, informants there that he can, networks he can tap into and find some more information about the armory. But besides that, I wish you adieu. And with all due respect, please don't die.
Always goal number 1.
Right. She slaps you on the back and says, "Well, have fun," and departs. And Merkus is there as well.
Yep. Merkus will look up at Kroava and, well, my guy, I suppose this is, wow. I never thought, I didn't think we'd part again so soon after re-meeting again, but I'll be waiting for you. And, thank you for the gift. It's been a long time since I was able to just sit and read a book, so I appreciate it.
I take it you
And
heard what the book was? Did you hear that bit?
It was a sequel. Yeah, it was 50 Shades of War.
Right, that's all right. Just I didn't know when
Yeah.
you'd fell asleep. It was just so you knew.
Probably
exactly.
around the time I started snoring.
That's fair. Okay. But yeah.
Because I remember you going into the toy shop. That was anyway.
All right. No, that's all right then.
And then he'll hand you a pouch, a little pouch, and it's a pouch full of mushrooms. And you can do whatever you like with them. It's like, here you go. In case you need to, in case you need something emergency to eat, or if you need to take somebody out with food.
I really
I don't know
it.
which ones are in there, so you're just gonna have to, take the plunge.
Kroava will just kind of, again, go down to one knee and just kind of pull him in for a hug.
No, damn it.
Yeah, Merkus will hug him too. He'll pat him on the back a couple of times.
Once I'm back, we'll get back to our own adventuring, maybe with less killing and running.
Yes. Hopefully it'll be a lot safer then.
Yeah. Thank you.
But that's why we do this. We do it to make it safer for everyone, including ourselves.
And I appreciate this. Okay, to tuck the pouch back in his side patch. I don't know. Shut up, you're crying.
I was trying to think of anything else that Merkus might have had in his inventory that he could give up, but I don't remember anything else. So
yeah, I think that sums it up.
yeah, give him the mushrooms. Yeah. Some mushrooms.
Yeah. So I take it you'll be off now?
Well, I'll be here watching you, watching the ship take off. But then, yeah, I've got some duties to take care of here
Merkus
for a while.
Merkus is the parent when the school trip's gone off in the bus. and sitting waving them off.
Yeah, he's the parent watching the kid get on the
Yeah.
bus for the first time.
Well, as Kroava turns and starts going towards the thing, all you'll hear is, "Hey, Gray, do you want a mushroom?" As he runs off.
There you go.
Except he's sad.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So the three of you, Sergeant Braxis, Gray, and Kroava are able to go ahead and take off on the Cardinal Dawn, the airship repossessed by the rebellion of Vasselheim. As you guys all get into the ship and slowly start to take off, you hear some. Oh no, there's no one in the city. So, you are able to take off up, 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 way above the clouds, as you are setting sail to the Iron Authority, or what used to be the Iron Authority is now considered the lands of the Silver Legion. Your destination, Rybad Call, where, for hopefully, you guys can secure some goods for the upcoming offensives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is where we will leave off the episode for today. Yeah.
Yay!
Seems like an appropriate place to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Merkas leaving and this asshole. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you?
Marcus was an asshole too.
Yeah, but he was my asshole.
Ooh, la la.
I mean, I guess that's where all that shit came from.
Yeah.
Right from your asshole.
Right. Right, well... Oh no, did I do this off stream?
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
Well, the question would be is, how long would it take for Merkas to perhaps read the present? How long would it take him to read the book?
I mean, if he just does it, in his spare time, like right before bed or whatever, it'd probably not take terribly long, a couple of days.
And how long will
it's not. I'm assuming it's not a very long book.
And how long will it take us to get to the next location? Like, what would the time difference between like this episode ending and the start of next episode?
So okay. The 50 Shades of Orc is 153 pages long. It will take you guys, asking Sergeant Braxis, it'd probably take like 3 days, 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah, going with like an average amount of reading. Like if he spends, an hour reading it each night before bed, then yeah, he'll probably be done by the third night.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would find the slip-in. Yeah, just send it to Zim privately.
Oh.
You can do whatever you want, man. It's up to you. It's all good.
Yeah, then we'll have to react to that at some point later.
It says, "I hope you die, old man." Yeah. No. So before we cut out on this episode, Sergeant Braxis will approach you once you've gotten like a little ways out of Vasselheim there, Kroava, and says, so I don't exactly know, I've heard stories, and you are a proficient fighter who also transforms into bears, correct?
Maybe. Yes.
You are an individual who harnesses their rage to, get swing harder and things like that, right?
Well, sometimes I just like to hit things very hard. But
if you can give me like, oh shit, no, that's self. God damn it. Never mind.
do you want to see?
That whole conversation wouldn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Me.
alrighty then.
Because he does have contingency, and I wanted to use it, but it's self only. God damn it!
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
So contingency is an amazing fucking spell. Basically, when you cast it, it's a sixth level spell. So anything 5th level or lower, you can cast in coordination with this. So when you cast it over the course of 10 minutes, you choose a contingency. Basically, it's a trigger to happen on yourself, obviously. So say you cast this and you cast in coordination with it, you expend a spell slot for water breathing. You would use a 6th level spell slot and a spell slot for water breathing, whatever level you cast it at. And then at that time you can describe a circumstance to happen, and you will that spell will come into effect then. So say the next time I roll initiative for combat, I will gain the benefits of haste, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, that can be
Yeah.
pretty handy.
So if it was on
It's pretty
somebody
fucking
else, it
handy.
would have been cool to be like when we go into war, you immediately become a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I so fucking hate this. It's a self spell.
Well, that sucks.
So you can't use it to like target allies. Like you can't make
No.
a contingency for a spell that targets allies as well as yourself.
Yeah. Oh
Ah.
shit! Wait, no! I fucking remember this. Okay, shit. Sorry, I made him last night, and I forgot that he has the meta magic for modifying that. Give me 1 second. Ranged spell, I think it's called. Extended? No. Power? Distant spell. Yes. You can spend one source to double use a spell. Range of touch. You can spend. Oh, it's only. It has to be touch or 5 feet or greater. Damn it.
No.
It can't be self. Fucking hell. Alright. Never mind.
I mean,
You
it
had
would
some
have
hope,
been
and then
cool.
you snatched it away from you.
I know. It's stupid. Anyways. Never mind. But he will have a contingency available.
That's good to know.
Yeah. He is a wizard, by the way.
Oh.
Well, and he's got meta magic, so that means he's also got sorcerer or a feat to give him meta magic.
Yeah, he has meta magic adept.
Ah,
Yeah.
Right. Well, in saying that, you need to go to bed for work tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
know.
yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't suck.
No, yeah, hopefully not.
Starting a new job always kind of sucks because you're not really 100% sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's a good job. I've been there before. I've talked to the owner and everything like that, and he's a good guy.
Oh,
okay.
that's
Well,
always a
That's
good
good.
step.
Yeah. It's not a big place. It's a small operation.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Alright. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Goodbye,
Uh,
everybody.
Yep, good night.
Bye.